We have second class for environment and biodiversity. Yeah, tell me what you are saying. Syllabus wise? Yeah, something like security. Security was very clear. It was. What other issues? Topics. Even syllabus only very few lines are there, 1 line, 2 line. Questions also having huge variability. Sometimes 1 question, 2 question, sometimes 5 questions are there. 15 marks. Third question. What are the features of NCAP? Yeah, 5, 6 you can remember. Beyond that, what you will do? What else? In other question also, there is tomorrow's paper, Jal Shakti Abhiyan. That was also asked similarly. I think that was 10 markers. So yesterday, no, tomorrow's paper. So sometimes specific schemes are coming. Like you really have to know some details of it. We'll make a list of schemes which are very much in news. EIA 2020, that was very big matter. That everyone, that was such a big issue that year. Rust, NCAP, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, that are very specific. Even the fourth question, how will you attempt it? Something like if you've done the editorial, you are making notes, like you have made notes that time when it was came. It was came, I think, 2 months before mains, 1 month before mains or something. So it was somewhere in the news. If you remember, you can, but still getting exact data, getting specificity in that answer, it's still a difficult task. What about other 2 questions? Concept. There you can do something. You can play with some structure, some. What else? Third question, third and fourth are there, NCAP. Let's see. It is. Yeah, so what we are doing today is we have 1 question on EIA. We'll do that in detail. Like if something it is written in the syllabus also, EIA. So we will do that in detail so that if in something come in future, we can have some points. In that way we'll do. We'll not just limit to the draft specifications. Second question, what it is? Carrying capacity and sustainable development. In there also we'll try to develop some kind of a framework, how to think framework. Last 2 questions we'll keep little less focused. They are more very much factual type questions. Your written answer? No. Okay. Yeah. Let's read the first question. How does draft EIA notification 2020 differ from the existing EIA notification 2006? Very direct. How you address this? That will come in introduction. You will define EIA. Okay. 20 notification you are writing. Draft, right? What else? comparison you are doing. You made box. What are the parameters of it?
Public consultation days, environmental
Clearance. Yes, yes. You can make a box, table or whatever. What else? Put a way forward. Written way forward? No. What way forward you will take in this question? See, this is a draft. This is not an original notification. This is not a rule or anything. Draft means something can be criticized, something you can even take, or in conclusion if you are writing, there is some scope to include something against this draft also. Criticism against this draft. There were a lot of criticism. That's why it was in news. That was it came in paper also. So there is scope for including some criticism here in this question. Why? Because one thing is it is a draft. Secondly, that is why due to criticism it became a major issue. So you can think on that lines. Otherwise it is a 10 marker. Easily core points you will still suffice. Gone through the questions? Or just seeing now? Move ahead. So introduction, how you define EIA? What is EIA basically? Don't just read the definition, just if any project is coming, before implementing the project, understanding how it will impact different aspects of, and this aspect not just environmental aspects, it includes social dimensions, it includes economic dimensions also, including environment. So having a complete picture of impact of whatever XYZ planned project before starting the implementation, that is EIA all about. You can cite some standard definition from UNEP or some other organization. It will give some credibility to whatever you are writing. Not necessarily possible in every answer, but some standard definition you can pick up. Go ahead. So what are different steps of EIA? Decision making, mitigation, all these activities. So understand this line diagram. In this question there is less feasibility to draw this, but if a general question came on EIA or some statement is given on EIA and you have to elaborate it, in that question this becomes very handy. What is screening? It is the first step, whether we need an extensive EIA, whether we don't need an extensive EIA, all this come in screening. Scoping means defining the boundaries. What are the key issues associated with the project? Impact analysis, that is the technical analysis. Whatever all the environmental aspects, social aspects, everything will come here. Mitigation, what does it include? If some project is having higher environmental consequences, is there any alternative available? Or is there any some design change will reduce the impact of it? All this come in mitigation. Reporting means in certain formats you have to present this so that the value of it becomes maximum. Review of EIA, this will be public hearing, everything will come here. After that, decision making authority will be state or some other agency, PSU agency, something like that. Post monitoring, what it comes here? In post monitoring, that we had the EIA, we had done all this, then the project started. Then also you need to check whether whatever the analysis we done in the EIA is the impact same. If in some case our analysis was wrong and impact is becoming very huge, then there may be need for another EIA. So there is constant need for reporting, monitoring, surveillance, checking. So all this come in post monitoring phase. Basic steps, if it is even okay, you miss out one step in exam. Exact step, but the process, all process should be in your answer overall. Exact same words, exact same lining, that is not required. Screening, scoping, after that analysis, mitigation, reporting, review, decision making. You can give public, what it is? Public consultation, all this also. Now what is another use of it? This question is very specific about draft EIA. If in general you have to find out what are the issues with EIA, so you can think on these lines. What is screening में क्या issue होगा? So many projects may be excluded from EIA. It is not necessary all projects will come under EIA. We will see in next slide. Scoping, maybe some key issues are not involved. The impact analysis, only economic it may go. Technical capability gap, what does it include? EIA is very extensive step. It requires special professionals, specially trained persons, and we don't have such kind of a infrastructure or system. So all that gap come here. Public review of EIA, public hearing consultation, what is issue? How many days we have for public consultation? In 2006 notification, which is still running, right? It was 30 days. Draft was saying how much? 20 minimum days. So what is issue? Who is conducting EIA? That may be private agency, consultancy group, or some government system, government organization, and they will publish a report. And who may be impacted? Public may be impacted. If a big dam is coming, forced migration, who is impacted? Tribal people. And this whole report may be in English only. They may not even understand a word of it, and these people are who are being impacted, and you are expecting that they do the study of the report and they do all the background study, background analysis, and they come up with something in 30 days. Yes. Only local languages, no local language may be involved. Only may be English. In some case, maybe Hindi come. Beyond that, nothing will be there. So the point is, along these lines, you can generate criticism of EIA also. Go ahead. So this is basic EIA, how it evolved. In under which act it is coming? Water Act. Environment Protection Act, 1986. So in 1986 Act, in 1994 the notification of EIA was coming. Before that, just a technical study was enough for clearance of the project. Now what system we have today? 4 projects are divided into category A and category B. What is category A projects? There are big projects, big thermal plant, big hydroelectric plant. Mandatorily this requires national level EIA study. This should be done for category A projects. What about category B? State level appraisal is only required. National level study may not be required. And in B also we have categorization, B1 and B2. B1 means they require EIA. B2, certain projects are excluded from EIA, that will come under B2. Now certain projects whichever category B1, B2 depending on size, irrespective of all this, there should be EIA. There is a list of that projects also, something like mining, thermal power plant, what else, river valley infrastructure, all this coastal infrastructure, all this should require EIA irrespective of what is their size. So this is what we have in 2006 notification. Now what is government issue with this? Why do we need a draft? Why do we need to revive this? We have so many infrastructure projects. What is blocking infrastructure projects? One big issue is clearances. Clearance means not just EIA, there are so many other clearances, land clearance. So this is one roadblock to infrastructure, big infrastructure project. So government want things to be done faster. That was one objective of it. Go ahead. So these are like some general issues associated with EIA. Not specifically, again, not specifically related to draft 2020. Why we are discussing this? Because draft, we don't need to focus too much on it. It's already been in news, its time is over. But EIA, there is extensive study needed for this. What are the issues? Legislation में क्या issue है? Even today it is as a notification. What is the issue with notification? That is there more. If it is a legislation, something like EPA, if it is a part of EPA, any change is to be brought in it, there should be an amendment that goes through parliament system. So there will be more scrutiny, there will be criticism, there will be all this. If notification itself, central government itself can change it at any time. And only public outcry was there, that was the only legal scrutiny that was available. What else? Not mandatory for many projects. Many projects are still out of EIA, irrespective of their impact. Competence gap that we told right now. Issues in public consultation. Gram Sabha has a lot of powers in many cases. But what actually happens is, they doesn't even know, their permission may be forged. They don't have a capacity to interact with higher level authorities. Reporting issues. We told that even after EIA, when the project is going on, there is need for continuous monitoring. And that process is always getting delayed. Local language issue. Extended validity. This is like in next, it should come in next slide. That is, in the draft, the validity of EIA was extended from 30 years to 50 years. And for river projects, it was 10 years to 15 years. Okay. This should come next slide. It's wrongly put. Yeah. So what is the issue with draft EIA? What are major provisions? We'll go with issues only. What is federal issue? Central government itself has the power to constitute state level EIA. So that is something, again, constitutional principles. Exempted projects. There is list, we already told in 2006 also, there is certain category of projects which are exempted. Which one it is? B1. So what they are doing, they are making a very broad list of those topics. Even oil exploration, this has huge amount of environmental impact. Sometimes it's done in oceans, coral, all these impacts. Hydroelectric projects, cement plant, high impact on environment. All these plants are getting exempted from it. And beyond that, what is other issue? New category of projects, what is called strategic projects. These projects are along the border areas, along central government certain interest. In this also doesn't require EIA. Proper EIA is not required. Public hearing is not mandatory. So all these issues. What is post facto clearance? This is one very big issue. Later stage also. If suppose a project was running, irrespective of whatever it is the status, EIA can be done afterwards also. Later you found that the project doesn't have it will run. Okay, so if the project is running without EIA, at a later stage it is found that EIA is not done properly, there is no stay on the project. You can pay a penalty, you can done it something fine and get away with this. This is against constitutional principle, like Supreme Court judgment in this case. No post facto clearance should be awarded in environmental related cases, and that was blatantly violated. What else? Public hearing from 30 days it was reduced to days for public hearing, reduced to 20 days. And that too, there is no provision for local language, have some report in local language, no provision. So it becomes very cumbersome. What is this? Is another major issue with compliance of the report. That is, even an EIA is conducted after every maybe 6 months. It is annual conducted here, right? So according to 2006 notification, after 6 months you have to check the compliance. Check the compliance means whether it is going within the bounds of the EIA report and all. And that was converted to annually. 6 months now you don't have to do, you have to do annually. And that too, who will do this? Even not outside third party, not third party. Same who is implementing the project, they have to do it themselves. So conflict of interest, who will report against themselves? If they report, their project will get delayed. So this is like, even though provision is there, it is made useless. So all these made so many protests, so many issues. Anyway, this is not materialized. It just remain as a draft. Move ahead. What else you will write? Way forward you can include. It should not be, EIA should not be reduced into a notification. There should be some legal clarity for it. Accreditation system, what is it? Training of professionals. Some kind of like energy efficiency professionals we have. Similarly, we have different professionals. So we need a system for EIA also. Maybe you can cite an organization also. Independent organization should be there to conduct all EIAs. Something like NGT, something like Green Tribunal. Something tribunal like system should be there who can have the expertise to conduct all these EIA. Strengthening public consultation. That is very must. Local language. Some institutional mechanism should be improved. Gram Sabhas, local bodies, all this should be part of the decision making process. No post facto clearance. Independent authority for compliance checking. Like they cannot be left like they themselves, company them who is implementing the project themselves report. That practice should not be permitted. So in this question you can include few way forward, but still the other part is the major part of the answer. Just make a less than half page, then conclude the answer. In conclusion, what you can do? This is like a generalistic conclusion. If any environmental question, sustainable development, connect it with fundamental right, article 21. Right to clean air, right to clean water, right to clean environment. All this is part of article 21 fundamental right. So connect with this and you can give a generalistic conclusion of it. What is any other recent issue you hear this? Crackers in Diwali. All those people will file case. That is because right to environment is a right to clean air is a right to fundamental right under article 21. So that is basis of this. Go ahead. Read the question. Define the concept of carrying capacity of an ecosystem as relevant to an environment. Okay. Explain how understanding this concept is vital while planning for sustainable development of a region. How much marks it is? 15 marks. So what you have done? What you will do? You have done something, right? You will write the carrying capacity here. What is it? Or the first part of the answer will be addressed here. Importance. Okay. What else? Carrying capacity and sustainable development you are linking. How you are generating points here? GS syllabus, polity, social, economic. Any other dimensions you can think of? SDG goals. You can think on that line also. This is very broad question. Like sustainable development of a region is asked. So you can connect it with everything. We'll see in next slide. So this is what is carrying capacity. We'll see those all dimensions in next slide. What is carrying capacity? Any other? Even if you don't exactly remember what it is, still you can guess it out. It's not. It can withstand sustainably. Okay. Here it is given that a word is used, anthropressure. How much maximum anthropressure a system can withstand sustainably? That is called carrying capacity. It can be in terms of population, it can be in terms of other impact, greenhouse gas emissions, carbon footprint. All these can be different parts of anthropressure. And how much a system can withstand it, that is carrying capacity. Okay. So what is sustainable development? Wherever you are citing this, cite this commission. The whole definition is coming from here. Otherwise, it becomes very schoolish. Needs of meeting needs of present generation as well as future generation. That is the idea, right? If you cited, you at least give something more to it. Class 8, 6, same thing is still running. For all forever, that is shorter version of it. The idea is same only. You should balance economic, environmental as well as other impacts. So these are different dimensions. One you told right now. You can think on SDG lines. This is not for this question. In economy also, you might get questions regarding sustainable development, something like that. So all there apply this framework. This you should prepare very thoroughly. Where else you can use this? In introduction, in conclusion, all these places also you can use. And this can also serve as a framework for generating points. This question is very direct. What is other framework? Syllabus wise you can, we already discussed all this. Look here, what is this? Sustainable development majorly has 3 dimensions. One is ecology, society and economy. So think on different dimensions of ecology, how it is impacting. Think on different dimensions of society, like equality, health and education, all this will come here. Think on different lines of economy, investment, job creation, research, all this. So this is another framework for deriving points from sustainable development related questions. You can include this diagram also, these 3 Venn diagram. Go ahead. So how will you prepare this? You have made any notes? What you can do is, where it gone? Call. Screen gone. So many distractions today. What happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
Thanks. No, we have distributed something.
Okay.
Maybe it does price here.
ठीक.
Or if they want me to teach now, मुझे आना ही चाहिए.
So this is one basic framework you can make the notes for these SDGs. Don't make it very extensive. Very rarely you will get a question directly related to SDG. But still, if you make these kind of a notes, it can be applicable like so many places. You make a way forward for poverty in society. Also, you can put it. So many other areas. So you can club 2-3 goal also. Second goal, what it is? Zero hunger. So you can put those together, goal 1 and goal 2. The idea is, what is the target you write here? That will be directly coming from SDG. What are achievements? You need certain data here. What data we have given? 2004-5, 51.5% was the incidence of poverty. That has been reduced to how much? 16% in 2019-21. This is a UN report data. Now, what is government approach to end poverty? Rights approach, NFSA. How much percent it is covered? 67% of population. Like food is made a right. You have a right to food irrespective of social or economic status. Garib Kalyan Yojana, that is more related to COVID times. What it does? Providing cash also to women, providing other equipments, not equipments, food products, all these items. Manrega, you will cite job security aspect. Social assistance, what comes in it? Old age pension scheme, handicapped pension scheme, all this will come here. Challenges to poverty, regional variation. Which report it is? Multidimensional Poverty Index, Niti Aayog. Wherever you can remember the report, you should, where you are citing data, put the report name also. Where very obvious data, then you can avoid. Something like India's border is this much. Don't write report name in there. But in specific data, see the regional variation in poverty. How much is Bihar poverty rate? 51%. This is multidimensional poverty. Kerala, it is 0.71%. That is very huge difference. Like that, beyond the difference, you cannot imagine that kind of difference is made between these two. Urban poverty is rising. This Manrega is for urban also. It is only for rural right now. Urban, yeah, some projects are there, but in extensively it is not available. Urban poverty is rising. Hidden poverty, what it is? Poverty. You have anything to add? Lot of lack of capability for what? No, it is not lack of capability. It is hidden poverty itself, like nutritional poverty itself. Like in PDS, what we usually give? Wheat, rice, all these grains. Beyond that, like people will have food to eat. There is no lack of food, but there will not be essential nutrients. Like anemia is, how much it is? 58% of women in reproductive age is having anemic in India. So all these come from nutrients are not met. Even though food is available, nutrient poverty is still. Feminization of poverty. What does that mean? Female eat last, female get less food compared to men, all this comes here. Feminization of agriculture, that was in society, you will familiar with that. It is good or bad? Feminization of agriculture. Bad? What is way forward? These are like some successful models. What is ADP? Aspirational District Program, Niti Aayog, all these. What is major idea of this? It is not bringing something new funding. It is not bringing new funding. What it is doing is convergence of existing schemes. So that the it is focusing more on implementation aspect. Will be targeted implementation of education aspect, health aspect, and that will be a little bit customized to the requirement of the district. Kudumbashree model, what is it? Self-help groups. Kerala it is. And what is specialty of this? Self-help group plus local self-government. They are like leading, they are combined together, coming together and implementing the Kudumbashree project. And they are like throughout network in Kerala, you will see some kind of work going on. In COVID, there was free kitchen, 1 rupee kitchen, all this. Similar to universal health insurance. What is major health insurance thing? Ayushman Bharat. How much is the coverage? When it was launched, it was so what it was publicized? 10 crore families, more than 50 crore. It is said that more than population of Europe, USA, all these countries combined. To some extent, is correct. That was like you build your own agriculture in your home, urban farming, all these kind of things, kitchen gardening, all this. Promotion was given in some state. I think Maharashtra was promoting it. It took. So this like that, how much it takes? Half page. Make something like this for every SDG. It may be like 10-15 pages. Complete it and keep it. So many questions you can give some examples. Government schemes like this only you can study. Otherwise, making list of government scheme and studying it become very hectic. So what we do for this specific question? You can either go with SDG or go with this Venn diagram approach, or you can, nothing is working, you can go with that syllabus breakup also. Thing is, more than 5-7 points should be there in your answer. It's a 15 marker, right? And there is not much parts we can divide this. What is given here? Sustainable planning. What does it mean? Carrying capacity, everything when you are substantiating it, relate it with carrying capacity. Anywhere resources are limited, there is water resource, it cannot go beyond some, it cannot go unlimited. So you should have a efficient planning system so that wastage is reduced, all this should write in it. When you are substantiating it, bring in the concept of carrying capacity. You have done like that? Little bit. Green growth, invest in renewables, pollution control measures, all NCAP, whatever way forward you have prepared for that, right, you can write it here. Waste management, circular economy. What is circular economy? We told. Reduce whatever the wastage is coming, we will use it again input as some other processes. Plan to migration. It should have all these aspects. It should have some economic points, it should have some ecological points, and it should have some social related points also. Plan to migration, what is issue? Slums, ghettoization. What is ghettoization? Slum area will itself be divided into one community will be living here, one community living, some kind of polarization. This can lead to social clashes, all these issues. Population control measures, city forest. Any government scheme you can think in this regard? Urban forestry, Delhi government, very good. So all these very similar schemes. The idea is, this is how you generate points under 3 heads, and your answer should have something related to social also. Don't make it only environment related. Sustainable development doesn't mean that it should focus only on environment. should have some economic aspect as well as social aspect. Or if you need more points, you can go with SDG goals. Then you will get at least 10 points. You can easily make up. And whatever substantiation you are giving, connect it with carrying capacity or limits of resources, all this. Go ahead. So what way forward? Not necessary in this question. We have kept some case studies, some examples you can use. Not here, in some other question also. What is this? Tanka technique. It's a water conservation technique with underground storage facilities were created. In UP it is. Mangrove tourism promotion in Panaji, Goa. What it was done? Mangroves are itself a very dense ecosystem. Sundarban mangroves, all this for tigers, all this. So what they have done is they made this mangroves area a tourism center, ecotourism center, so that they will get the money to conserve the mangroves. At the same time, the ecosystem will also benefit and tourist and revenue will also come. So ecotourism was explored in this aspect in Goa. Green highways, what does it include? Pollution free highways, and if it is passing through some forest reserved forest area, make them flyovers so that animals can pass off. All this will come under this. Government is giving a push to it recently. Other aspect to it, you can give some plantation, afforestation along the highway. Some project like that is also going on. 1% you have to part of highway project, you have to spend for afforestation. So all this you can club under Green Highways initiative. Eco-labeling, what does it mean? Categorize the products which we use based on how is the carbon footprint, ecological impact or greenhouse emission, the product life cycle impact of it. So that people will also be aware, we should use lesser impact product. So this was to some extent did in Kerala. Then this has huge potential to be implemented throughout state. Clean Homes, Clean City initiative, what is it? Solid waste management system. How waste is managed right now? Whole waste is collected somewhere and processed centrally. So what here it was done, it was decentralized, like within wards, some small system were arranged, and like that only those products which cannot be processed there, they will be taken for centralization. Whatever you can make manure out of it, that will all be done at homes, if not at homes, at ward level. Only very specific waste, plastic waste, which you cannot burn, they will be taken to centralized processing plants. So this was done in Clean Home, Clean City initiative of Alapura. That is also in Kerala. So many things are coming from Kerala. So these are not specific part of the answer. Still somewhere you can cite to give some more quality to the answer. Go ahead. So conclusion, what is Earth Overshoot Day? For 1 year, when we pass the carrying capacity or our anthropogenic impact cross that limit, which the whatever system, Earth system can replenish itself, that day we call as Earth Shoot Day. How, when it is coming? This year I think it happened on July 28. Last year it was getting in August. Every year it is coming closer and closer. Go ahead. Third question. Yeah, now next two questions are very factual. We'll keep ourselves limited. So what is takeaway from this? Some questions are coming factual. Everywhere you cannot go and put some framework and generalistic thinking. And some government schemes are repeatedly being asked. Jal Shakti Abhiyan I told already, and CAP is being asked. So at least from environment, make a list of major schemes which there is probability of coming. And there won't be that much huge number of schemes. Whichever it is in news, Usually mostly questions are coming from this part, environment. So must do for environment. Other topics, if some major development is there, then do. But environment, these questions are last 5 years, there are 2-3 questions. So you should focus that on environment. Okay. So NCAP, is it still going or it is completed project? Still going. What are different parts? How you divide this? What the question is saying, what are key features of National Clean Air Program initiative by Government of India? What you did? Tell me. You wrote something about it when it was launched. Okay. When it was launched? 2019. How you remember exact date? Okay, you studied. You googled and went. Okay. What else? You included features. This is 15 marker also. It's very tough. Limitations, then you included way forward. Prospects, way forward. Thing is, all this keep limited. Even though you have space, you have knowledge, still keep limited. Focus maximum on this only. Even though 6-7 points only you can maximum generate, still this is what carry marks. Features. Save our time, like don't try to sit and fill 3 pages. Give some flexibility, 2.5 page you are writing, or just more than 2 page you are writing, keep it there. Don't forcefully, like just to fill space, write 5, 6, 7 limitations. It's all good, your knowledge I am not questioning, but marks will still come from features only. Keep this limited but include it, because question is like that. So you can include all these dimensions, still major focus should be on features only. Next question is more tough, I guess. Yeah. So in introduction, yeah, this is one generalistic introduction for our air pollution questions. Study some data, not just for air pollution, this is for air pollution, for water pollution, which are pollution you can come in news, make a list of 1-2 data regarding it. What it is saying, World Air Quality Report, out of 15 cities, polluted cities, 12 are in India. That's staggering. Which other report will have this dominance? Worst 3 in India only. Which one is worst? Neighboring countries, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Dhaka and all. Which is most polluted in this? Delhi? Noida? Go and check. What is this Lancet estimates? Per year, more than 1 million is people are dying due to air pollution. There are so many other specific data also, like your age is reducing by 2.6 years, depending on where you live. If in Delhi, then it may be more than that. 90%, yes, I cited it somewhere in the PPT. 90% people are already living in polluted air, breathing polluted air. All this. Idea is remember few data and Lancet study, some report you should by heart it. This question directly it is about a scheme, but still you can contextualize and put your knowledge. So it is due to high level of air pollution, high level of issues in Delhi and all this, that is the context for a new scheme in 2000. When launched, you told? Sure. So that was the context for launching a new scheme, NCAP. Go ahead. That this should also come a part of your introduction. Like don't just leave by writing some data, like mechanically citing some data. Connect it something with what is being asked. This pollution becoming a major issue. 1 million means how much? 10 lakh people are dying every year due to pollution. This is why this has become a major issue and why we have this context in. Getting? Go ahead. So this is all the basic features of the scheme. There are two takeaways in it. This is like basic what the scheme is about. What the tenure, 5-year tenure from 2015 to 25, major objectives, air pollution control, augmented approach, all this. Multi-stakeholder collaborative, what does it mean? There is a role for every organization, like a city, then Delhi government, Delhi city administration also has a role. It's not like a top-down approach. Some level of decentralization is being thought of, but in implementation it becomes, the idea is how much is trying to reduce? PM 2.5, 20 to 30% they are trying to reduce in next 5 years. Now the target, this is very recently in news, last month I guess. So anyone remember? Last month the target was revised to 40% by 2026. And what is else they are saying? Out of 132 non-attainable cities. Non-attainable means this is the standard we have kept. PM 2.5, 40 micrograms per cubic meter. Remember this data 40. Next question we will see how much is WHO permissible. Our permissible limit is 40 for PM 2.5. And how much? 132 cities are already out of it. These are non-attainable cities. And government is saying even though they are not attaining these levels, 95 cities are showing considerable improvement compared to 2017 or 18 levels. So there is progress indeed, but it is not that much considerable. So what is this? Here there is one good thing about it. There is one way of writing points. If some strategies, this is not part of this question, strategies how to reduce air pollution. Somewhere you need to generate points. This is how you should think. How local level it is going to impact. After that, how a city level or state level, what is the strategies needed. Then come national level or regional level. Then transboundary international level. These are 4 dimensions. This question, it is not that much applicable, but this is how you think. And look at how the points are also being generated. Land use planning, that will come under state department. In local, what you will put? Congestion management, traffic management, odd even scheme. That is more like odd even will come under state also. Otherwise, like irrigation management, all this will go under local body, what they should do. State level planning, 24/7 power, enforcement agencies, institutional development, some reform should happen. All these go under state. In central, legal development, like we told in last question, EIA, there should be some legal development. All those development should come from center. State cannot do much on it. Transboundary means ISA, INDC target, all this you can connect with. ISA is renewable energy, not exactly this question. Yeah, got it? We're not discussing too much on these scheme specific details. If any new schemes are coming, keep a note of it. Otherwise, if some very much big scheme which is already criticized in news, some schemes like that in environment, then you should do some preparation. So what are challenges? Weak mandate. What does it mean? EIA, what we told on EIA, there is no clear legal aspect to it. The same issue is here also. How it is done? No notification under specific act. Even if a notification under EPA, that is EIA has that much credibility. Here even that is not there. Only instruction, central government instruction is given to, who is implementing all these? CPCB. Who is CPCB? Central Pollution Control Board. So instruction is given them for them to do the planning, do the stuff, all this. But it's still not a legal framework, no institutional framework. That is not well established. What else? So no institutional framework, then how it will function? Institutional framework means some enforcing mechanism will be there. Like state government, some XYZ is given, then they should do it. They don't do, there will be some consequences, all these criticism, all these popular issues will come. But if it is, there is no such an institutional system, CPCB is going to a secretary and saying that you need to do this. Maybe state government has more tendency to overlook. CPCB is not like something above state government. It is just a central government agency. So they are working as an advisory group. They can only they cannot give mandatory provisions, mandatory orders, nothing, there is no lack of powers. Multiple plans, like what is this? Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So they are having different plans. Other ministries or road ministries are having different plans. Like air pollution is coming from different aspects, like construction activity that will be taken up by other ministry. So every ministry is having different plans, and there is no, and this one NCAP is also one of the plans. It's not like a one plan integrating all this. That integration element is missing. Everyone is working with their own system. What is this Greater Response Action Plan? GRAP, something like that. It is implemented in Delhi during winters. Maybe now we will see. The idea, what is the idea? There are different steps like this. Pollution level is this much, you do this. Like clarified it is put. And when pollution level crosses this mark, then your response should have more gravity. And highest mark when it crosses, you should close down all school education and higher steps will be. So there should be some clarity which step government is going to take and objective analysis of it. So that is put in this graded response action plan. It is mainly based on Delhi. There is scope for those in other cities also. Regional action missing. Prescriptive manner, what does it mean? We told that there is some kind of bottom-up approach, collaborative approach. In paper it is, but in working it is becoming top-down only. When it is like, however, the last plan should come from cities. Delhi pollution management, city will make the plan. And if they are making a plan such that only the minimum criteria is kept met, and there is a plan in paper but not effective. So that is what is happening in NCAP only. Mostly all cities have plans, but plans will only work when they are like customized to their problems, city level problems. Every city is not having same kind of issues. So those customization, those extra effort is missing in whole NCAP working. Poor fiscal backing. One time allocation is given of 300 crore, and this is like a project with a grand vision, and it is currently it is for 2026, and it is projected like it will be extended for next 20 years and all. So vision is great, but fiscal backing is not there. So obviously these are some XYZ limitations you can think of. What else? Way forward. This is one case study you should write in all your air pollution related answers. Beijing success. Beijing, before this New Delhi, if you remember in school time and all, Beijing was king of pollution, and there were pics like nothing will be, people will be sitting in some benches and all, background will be all smog and all covered. Just like Delhi, what we are going through. People with mask and oxygen is prized, all this criticism, everything is related to Beijing. But they have, even this 5-6 years, they have achieved tremendous progress. 33.53% reduction. And how they achieved these points, they used integrated with pathways. They integrated, not air pollution is not just an air pollution problem. You have to redesign industries, you have to conserve water, you have to have forest management, traffic management. It's only solution will come with integrating all these. You cannot just go and solve one problem at a time. So integrated approach was taken. Multi-tied accountability system. That is what in NCAP was missing. Like if city is not doing work, there should be some system to check and say that city level is the problem, or state level is the problem happening, or central level is the issues. So even there is no system to people to understand where is the blocking coming. Nuanced approach, like every city is having different pathways. What is working in Delhi will not work in Jaipur or smaller cities. So you need the plan to be like that itself. Odd even is very much applicable in Delhi, but may not be that much useful in other cities. Fiscal strategy, long-term plan commitment should be there. Cannot work with a one-time. Stringent targets. This we will see in next question. Our targets, what was the number? PM 2.5? 40. And we will see what is this for this. Somewhere we need to align it similar to these global standards. Need more study on health profile of cities. What does it mean? Health profile of cities. We told that Landslide study, what it is saying, 1 million people are dying due to health pollution, air pollution. Now in air pollution also there is lack of study, lack of data, how it is impacting young children, how it is impacting young people, how it is impacting older people. So many aspects, how it is impacting women, all this. So many data on how impacts of air pollution studies are still missing on India, especially in cities. So we need to clear this gap. All this you can put as way forward. In conclusion, what you will do? What is it? Something like we need more local as well as national action with something teeth. Otherwise, it's only great in paper and implementation. We are still the most polluted cities. Go ahead. Last question. What is it? I don't think we should spend any time on this. It's good this question came for 10 marks. Read the question once. Describe the key points of revised global air quality guidelines recently released by WHO. How are these different from last update in 2005? What changes in India's NCAP are required to achieve these revised standards? How you address this? 3 questions are there, that's good. 3, all 3 are. What are different parts? Write something on revised air quality guidelines. How it is different. What you will do if you don't know anything? NCAP, what changes you suggest for NCAP? Suppose you don't know these guidelines, you are seeing it first time in paper. How will you approach this question? Leave the option of totally leaving the question. What does, you can guess to some extent. What it will be doing, a revised air quality guidelines is coming. And the guidelines previously it was 2005. And that time air pollution may not be that much of an issue. Climate change is still coming onto the picture. So today these all are big issues. So what will they be doing? Keeping stringent targets, keeping some more mechanism how to resolve. Awareness, institutionalization, what are the measures that can take. So you can think on that lines. What the WHO guidelines will contain and address these 2 parts. Exact numbers, data, if you don't know, you don't know. But think for 3-4 points you can still generate if you think on generalized standards. What else? NCAP, what you will do? Thing is, when this question came, 2021. Last question was? So if you have studied PYQ a little bit, NCAP you will know what it is. Now what you can suggest? We have seen way forward of NCAP in last question. Take some points from there. What else we need to do? Connect it to air standards, air monitoring. 3-4 dimensions you can think. One is that what? PM, how much is the numbers? What else? Organizational structure, how it should be. Then PM, how much it is, you need monitoring mechanism. Monitoring methodologies. Think on these lines, then include some other point also. Beijing model, case studies, whatever it is. 4-5 points here you can generate. At least 4.5 point come from here. Something marks you will get. Still exact marks, don't look for getting all marks in these kind of questions. But some other question, like yesterday we discussed which one? Nuclear, solar energy. These are like hit questions. There you should have all your creativity, all your data, all perfect answer should come. Here, even though the answer is not perfect, it is still okay. But instead of leaving the question, you can think on these lines and generate some kind of points. You are done, you haven't written, right? You written this answer? No, you left it. Try something from next day, even if you don't know, nothing you can guess also, then you leave it. Otherwise, try some guesswork and show the answer. Yeah, try. You can do innovation in this. Don't do innovation in sure short questions, which you know exact data. There, don't go for super innovation. Here it is, you are lacking something. Anyway, you are not going for getting 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. You are just writing this for getting some marks, 3 marks, you will be very happy. So try innovation. If you are, no issues, I am not prescribing you should write, do this. You can be innovative, try some diagram, like a cycle approach, something like that.
We are giving separate headings, then if we are writing in Python, it will be clearly visible that
This guy doesn't know anything. It will be visible in paragraph also. Don't think you can fool. Yeah, go ahead. So what you will give as introduction, same thing. Some data regarding air pollution. This you can do. You have come prepared with this data. Not just air, water, all other pollution also, solid waste pollution, all this. Prepare some data. This is which you were saying. 9 out of 10 people in world are already living under some kind of air pollution, not following standards. 90% means how much it is? Almost everyone is living in polluted situation. Only people, those who live in mountains, they were saved. They will also come in this soon. So what else? This is about the standards, air quality standards. What it takes, anything new? 6 classical pollutants are included. Which are the pollutants? This. There was one prelims question, remember? Long back, 2017, 19 also there was something. These pollutants were given. In 2016, I guess there was one question where these pollutants are given. Air quality index, which of these pollutants are a part of it? This question repeated again. And that time, there was one option with CO2, I remember it so much. And CO2 is not a pollutant. If you can know that much common sense you apply, you will get the answer. 3 options get eliminated, you can pick one. Yeah, but you think that in exam or after exam, that's more important. So what are the pollutants basically? These are same pollutants which is in that India Air Quality Index. India is also having some monetary program. Ozone, NO2, SO2, carbon monoxide, all this. Quantitative statement means exact statement is given. Exactly this much is the limit for each of these. And that too in different time frame. Like overall year average it is 24 framework, it is 403 and all. I think peak is also given. In peak time, this should is the maximum limit. View on other pollutants. The idea is if you are putting effort to control these pollutants, other pollutants will automatically get controlled. It's not like you will work only on certain pollutants. So some points you are generating regarding the guidelines, and these are exact data. And take note how much is PM 2.5. Annual average is 10, and 24-hour average is 25. And how much is we are allowing? This is also in 2005 level. Now it is 5 and 15. How much is our standard? We are more than nearly 3 times or 2.5 times. And here also nobody is even following these standards also. So if we keep this, then all in India will be smoking polluted air. Still it is improving. 95 cities are showing improvement. So maybe will future we also become Beijing, something like that. So these are exact data. It's not humanly feasible to write this in exam. At least PM 2.5 you can remember, or PM 10 2 data you can remember. That's great. Even one of these is enough, 5 or 50. So they have different methods of collecting evidence and all this. This you can use as, we have to do the same method in NCAP also. You can do this as next part of the answer. Higher certainty on health effects. Like previously the awareness was very less, air pollution was not that much a major issue. Differentiation like these, 24-hour, annual, peak season, all this is given. Go ahead. You don't want pick for this? Previous one you want. Which one? Go ahead. So what else, how NCAP can change? This is the same slide which you used earlier, NCAP way forward. If you are connecting it with air quality guidelines, write some points first. So you write this point first, then include any of these. Don't keep Beijing first. Write something like you have to revise target. 40 is not acceptable in long term. At least after 2026, make it somewhere in line with global standards. Effective, we need better monitoring system. Monitoring system should also be in line with whatever the guidelines is saying. Implement best practices. This guidelines also have best practices for controlling certain PM. What are they? Black carbon, something like black carbon and other PM also, which are very specific pollutants. So for controlling these, there are some best practices provided in these guidelines. So NCAP can adopt those. After that, we can give all this what we have discussed in NCAP or studied in NCAP. So that's it. Conclusion, you will make up something. Connect with that framework will exist. Connect with the fundamental right. Which right? Article 21, connect with this, you can do. So this is topics for tomorrow. Jal Shakti Abhiyan, there is one question. After that, coastal sand mining. This came in this year also, remember? Coastal erosion issue came in 2020. So solid waste management, how it is, different aspect. Don't go through the question, exact question. Prepare the topic and come. Then wetlands, what are they? What is this? What is major convention regarding wetlands? Ramsar Convention. So study something about these also. Montreux Protocol. So that's all for today. All the best. Thank you.